So at the beginning of the story, we are shown Gina that she was a quiet girl who just wanted to continue her studies in peace. But her school life was not easy at all. On the other hand, Gina was a very good student in studies, and this is the reason why she did not tolerate some jealous girls at all, because of which she used to abuse her every day, even beat her, and sometimes even beat Gina, and because of these things every day, he returns home with a broken heart and writes down all his troubles only in his diary. One day, on the way to school, while boarding the bus, his diary suddenly fell out of his bag, but he could not understand it. After seeing this, Gina's address was found when she turned the G diary. And from here, he gradually began to develop interest in this quiet and sad girl. Gina's life, on the other hand, little by little, it was getting harder. The next day, when Gina was walking with her head down on her way to school, she was walking with her head down. Then suddenly she had a bump with a new boy. His name was Robin. Robin's look was completely rebellious. The eyes were beautiful but strange to see. Besides, the rest of the girls in the school were fascinated by him. However, Gina doesn't like him at all. Rather, he thinks the opposite. This guy seems to be very arrogant. Meanwhile, Robin didn't talk much to anyone. He was always immersed in himself. Mysterious, thinks. Then one day, when he was officially admitted to Gina's school, on the very first day, the principal was very angry with her earrings, which made Robin's eyes so terrifying that the principal finally got scared and allowed her to wear the earrings. Today, she had forgotten to bring her sports dress, which made her have to wear a skirt and exercise, which made her jealous. The girls didn't miss this opportunity at all and started insulting her, and Robin was just watching all this quietly when she was asked to look at the basketball team, but she had no interest in it. That's when Jim Soji entered. She is a rich and arrogant girl, and Gina's biggest enemy. He then deliberately hit Gina with a ball. Seeing this, Robin is no longer silent. So the next ball went straight to Soji's head. Kills. Whenever Soji wants to get angry, his behavior changes when he sees Robin. In the meantime, Gina could not bear the injury and humiliation and left the place. Just then she went and cleaned her wound and bandaged it, which made Gina very happy because this is the first time someone is treating her well. His bag is in the dustbin. Seeing the inside, Gina thought to herself that I have no value here. Just then a girl came and told her to go to the washroom, which Gina then went there without thinking. But she didn't understand that it was actually a trap, because Suji and his municipal gang were already there. They all started beating Gina and poured beer on her, and finally, they poured beer on her. He locked her in a cold washroom and left. Then Gina started screaming for help from inside, but no one came to help him. Nope. And then he gradually weakened. It even reaches the point of fainting. Just then, a mysterious man opened the door of the washroom. And get him out. But Gina doesn't know who she is. Back home, Gina finds out that G is her new neighbor. And at the same time, a strange app suddenly appeared on her phone, which was called Revenge Note. And at the beginning of this app, it was written that the person you write here will be punished for his mistake. Or is it really magic? Just then we see a funny scene where Gina and her mother suddenly hear a noise on the roof of the house, thinking that a thief may have entered the house, due to which Gina and her mother start beating the thief. But then we saw that it was actually Robin. They are new to their building. Seeing this, Gina's mother was very ashamed. And what does Gina say to take care of him? But Gina, meanwhile, was bad at nursing. It is only then that we find out that Robin actually lives here with her brother and his mother. His relationship with him is not very good. The next day, at school, Saoji started insulting Gina again. Seeing this, Gina was completely shattered. And in a fit of rage, he opens the Revenge Note app. He wrote Saoji's name there. And we can see that it doesn't really take long. Suji was sitting with his friends and was walking away with great pride in his dress when suddenly someone threw soda water on him. Her expensive dress was completely ruined. And this is where Gina's real revenge begins. So shortly after that, when Suji. He was sitting in the car thinking about his next plan against Gina when suddenly the driver braked. As a result, Soji went to the front seat and hit him. His nose started bleeding as if someone had opened the faucet. Then, after reaching the school, a video was suddenly shown to everyone in the middle of a meeting. In the video, it is clearly seen how Soji was always harassing Gina, which is completely silent when he sees this. I see how he is offering money to cheat in the exam. Seeing all this, his classmates start looking at him and ask him to apologize in front of everyone. Then Solji broke his phone in anger and shouted that these are lies. But then the principal came and confirmed that yes, Soji was really cheating in the exam. After all, the truth was revealed. His mother also punished him severely. When he arrived, he received a message from the Revenge Note app on his phone, which read, "Revenge complete." He finds and starts looking for someone around who is actually doing this. Just then his eyes fall on Robin, who was running the phone at the time. Then Gina starts to doubt in her mind and thinks that Robin is behind this app. The next day, when Gina gets on the bus to go to school, suddenly she collides with Gina, a rich girl in their school, because of which she insults Gina as a poor. Shortly after she swore revenge, Gina came to the school and found out that the girl on the bus was also a dangerous bullet. Fear enters. When the school was closed, G came and drove him home safely. Returning home so late at night, Gina's mother asked her to clean the entire building as a punishment. That's when G comes to his aid like a perfect gentleman. Robin watched from a distance. Seeing all this, he seemed cold from the outside, but inside he was feeling very cool. And here we understand that Robin may have started liking Gina in her heart. Just then, Gina learns from Gia that Robin works as a waiter in a restaurant so that she can do so. She can survive entirely on her own income so that she doesn't have to beg anyone for money. Just then, all of a sudden, G is scared of an insect, as if she has seen a ghost in front of her. Seeing this, Gina starts laughing, and she can't stop laughing, and then she finds out that G is actually very scared of insects. Then, in the middle of the conversation, Gina told him that someone had come and was disturbing her by texting her. Hearing this, G then taught him how to block that number. Because of this, Gina then understands a lot of Z technology. Expert. And this time, he suspects G. And maybe there is GE behind the revenge note. So, the next day, the school Robin came late, because he had been working at the restaurant all night. But the teacher did not understand it and threw him out of the class in anger. Gina feels so bad to see that, because everyone thought of such a hard-working boy as lazy. When Gina came out after class, she saw Robin holding hands with a girl. Seeing this, a strange feeling of jealousy worked in Gina's mind. That's when Gina saw the washroom. Smoke is coming out of one of the sheds. Seeing this, he then ran and poured water there and called the principal and said that there was a fire in the washroom, and then the principal came and went inside the washroom and saw that the rich bully girls were hiding here and smoking together, which the principal got angry and punished them in front of everyone in the school. But it was not all over, but the bullies started chasing Gina in anger, and the whole school saw this. Then he started running like that. It's like a wolf chasing him. Gina then entered the boys' washroom, fearing the bullets, where Robin was from inside. At first, Robin misunderstands Gina. But Gina then broke down in tears and told all the Robins that they were coming to kill her. Hearing this, Robin went out and told the bullies that there was no one inside. And that's how Robin saves Gina from those bullies. But it doesn't end here. The bullies started looking for him again. And when he finds Gina, he surrounds the entire library and locks it from the inside, announcing that he will find Gina. Seeing all this, Gina is completely helpless and gives a profit through the library window and goes straight to G, which G sees. Then it seems as if a fairy has come down from the sky. Then the two look at each other, and there is a romantic moment, and then when the bullies come to the window, both of them hide in the bushes, and at this time Zia's leg is hurt, due to which he was taken to the informal. Robin rushed to the spot, and when he saw Gina here, he was completely burnt to death. Meanwhile, the situation started to get a little strange because both the boys were starting to feel something for Gina. Then, after the school holidays, those rich bullying girls were stuck in Gina's street again, seeing which Gina started to get scared and tremble, and they came to the roof with Gina. Then a teacher came there and took Gina away from them, and here we come to know that Robin actually messaged the teacher called Gina to help. After knowing this, the confusion in Gina's mind increased. After a few days, suddenly one day bully finds his wallet, but on the contrary, he is accused of theft, and when he is threatened to report it to the police, and a contract is signed so that he obeys them. And this is how Gina becomes their slave bag, carrying their slave bags, shopping and enduring the humiliation every day. Then Gina is very broken, and Gina has no way to open the app again. And shortly after writing the name of the bully, then the revenge started when the bully was singing on the stage. He has an electric hobby due to which he faints while trembling in front of everyone. Just then, suddenly a drunken girl came and vomited on her branded bag. And at the end of everything, 1,00,000 rupees was lost from his account. And that money goes to the students from whom he had snatched the money earlier. A few days after the incident, a party was held at the school. But Soji hasn't given up yet. He tries to get closer to Robin this time. But there was only one other person in Robin's eyes. That's when a new problem began. A teacher begins to harass Gina. One day, he broke into Gina's house. As a result, Gina picked up a pen in fear and hit him on the head. As a result, the teacher tried to escape, but then his pants got stuck in something, due to which he tried to escape from the underwear there. Then the parishioners saw all this and started taking pictures of him, and just then Robin entered there like a hero and started following him with his bicycle and caught him and handed him straight to the police, either to buy a new uniform for a student, but suddenly the money disappears and everyone suspects Praveen, due to which he is taken to the office and questioned. He repeatedly says that he did not steal anything. But even then, when his wallet was checked, there was a lot of money. Robin can't tell the truth, because he earned that money by working in an illegitimate club. He doesn't want to put anyone in danger because he's a minor. So, he is silent. As a result, the whole school began to think of him as a thief. He was even kicked out of the basketball team. That's why he walks with his head down, because the burden of a crime has fallen on her, which she did not really do. Then Gina comes to Robin and says that you tell the truth that you did not do this. But Robin does not agree to this, which is why Gina tells him some things in the head of anger, which Robin then leaves. After a while, Gina and Robin feel very bad, which is why she calls him to eat in the canteen. Robin is the first time. Robin, he opens up the story of his life, where he says that earlier he used to live with his grandfather, whom he loved very much. But since his death, he has been. After listening to Robin, Gina herself started investigating, and she was not a girl to give up. So while investigating, she gradually came to know that the real thief was someone else who was handling the donation money. At the same time, the girl gave Gina a blood-stained note, which became the biggest proof of this. Then, with the help of Gina hacked her Instagram ID and saw he bought a luxury bag with the donation money. As soon as everything is confirmed, Gina then launches the Revenge Note app again. And write the girl's name there. Shortly after, the police arrived at the school. Seeing this, the girl tried to run away. But Robin finds him. Then the girl was very frightened by the look of Robin's horrible eyes, and he confessed the whole truth in tears. Then the teacher came and grabbed him and left. And that's how Robin was finally proven innocent. Then at night, Robin goes to the roof and comes to Jenna, and thanks him for trusting him. And with a little shame, He gave her a candy. That's exactly what. In an instant, Robin realizes that he really loves Jenna. Then everyone in the class goes on an excursion to an amusement park. There, Robin and Joe both try to get the attention of the genre. Seeing this, Jinu was happy, but then suddenly he was forced to put on a roller coaster, in which he started to get very scared. Which when he saw Robin, he grabbed his hand, and because of this, his fear gradually subsided, and his mind was a little more inclined towards Robin. After a while, when Gina was walking alone in the park, some bad boys came and started disturbing Gina. G comes and saves her, and they are in the room with her in such a way that the host of the park thinks they are lovers and calls them to the stage and asks them to share a chocolate bar. And while doing this, the lips of the two of them are about to touch when Robin sees everything and starts to get jealous, so she leaves in anger. And then when Gina's bag falls off, Robin, he comes there and picks up his bag just when the water from the fountain is about to fall on Gina. Standing in front of her, she saves Gina from getting wet, and seeing this, Gina becomes more and more fierce with Robin. But that peace does not last long because on the other hand, Gina's younger sister and Sana also started liking Robin, which is why she uploaded a picture of herself with Gina on the internet and captioned it. He decided to have surgery, but the doctor he chose was actually a fraudulent doctor who only took money. He was doing. Just in time, Gina realizes everything, and with the help of RG, she goes and saves her sister. And then G explains to Asana and says she's as beautiful as she is. Seeing this, Gina opened the Revenge Note app again, and he wrote the name of the fake doctor there. Shortly after, when the woman went to the salon to take care of her hair. But his hair was affected by a medicine that made him almost bald. The next day, Gina comes to school and complains in the canteen that she always eats less for lunch. Gets. That's when Robin handed him his watermelon in front of everyone. Everyone looked at them in amazement, and maybe there's something going on between them. That's how the rumors of Robin and Gina getting married spread throughout the school. When they saw, they both denied it, but it was as if their minds were saying something else. Then suddenly, one day, Gina goes to Robin's house with an excuse. There, he saw her in casual clothes, and she started laughing and quietly took a picture of him. A few days later, suddenly one day, Gina sees 3 girls littering the streets. He tells them to pick up the dirt. But instead, they started having fun with him. They even tried to kill him. Just then, an androgynous and powerful girl comes and beats them up and drives them away, and, in this way, this new girl becomes Gina's friend. But this friendship is not taken well by everyone in the school, especially a girl who wants to separate them anyway, so she intentionally sets a blinded one for Gina, which was with a very bad boy. Hearing this, Robin said in jealousy that no boy will go on a date with you anyway, so she accepts the date to prove herself. So, the Chinese are well prepared to go on a date the next day. Dress up beautifully and dress nicely. Robin saw him as he walked out into the street and said, "You look so strange." Robin said this in his mouth, but his eyes were saying something else. Hearing this, Gina told him to concentrate on his work and left. So, after a while, Robin finds out that this date is actually a trap, and that guy is absolutely. It's not good, but a gangster who Robin then goes straight there without delay and stops Gina's way and says you're as beautiful as a star. And this was the first time that Robin was praising her from the front. Gina was ashamed of herself, and then Robin offered to take her home on her bicycle, but then she agreed. Then, while riding his bicycle, Gina got scared on the way and grabbed him from behind. That's why Robin likes it so much. From then on, Robin started texting Gina and they started sending him pictures in different poses. The pictures are a little strange to look at, but this is what Gina likes the most. Robin, on the other hand, continued to read his own message and began to roll in shame. It is then that we see Gina's past, where we see that Gina's father was very addicted to gambling, due to which he lost money, He lost all the money in the house, and even Gina's savings were wasted by gambling, and finally her father left them, for which Gina cried a lot as a child. And he tried very hard to stop his father, but he didn't come back. The old man worked in a grocery store, and Gina used to hang around her mother. And here we learn that this old man is actually Gina's father. But suddenly, one day, he got involved in a case for selling alcohol to 3 minors. That's why he had to go to jail. Hearing all this, Gina broke down from the inside. But he doesn't want to cry. That's when Robin put a cap on his head, so that he can hide and cry. He sat down beside her and comforted her, and reminds her how strong a girl she is. He is not alone responsible for this suffering. Shortly after, Robin calls GK and the two of them hack the CCTV in the grocery store. And then they see how Jean's father has been implicated in the case. And then he saw a tattoo of a man on his neck. From that clue, they find out his true identity, and Gina turns on the Revenge Note tab again. He writes his name there. Shortly thereafter, the man. This time, he was caught stealing from the store and told the whole truth. As a result, Gina's father was released. Upon coming out of jail, Gina's father expressed his gratitude to them. And if you want, you can get whatever you want from the store. I'll pay the bill. That's when Robin said, "Uncle, I want Gina's heart." Hearing this, Gina turned red with shame. So after a few days, G feels like it's time to tell Gina about her feelings without hiding them. So it's a nice surprise birthday for Gina. He plans and then arranges everything neatly and gives him a gift, the same pendant that Gina had lost on the school trip. The whole atmosphere becomes very romantic, and at that moment Z speaks his mind that he has loved her for a long time. But all this is heard by Robin standing outside. She also had the same gift in her hand. At that moment, her heart was completely broken. Just then, another big problem comes to the fore where a man named Samantha is married to Gina's aunt in a few days. His aunt used to trust him blindly, but one day Gina suddenly saw him in a suspicious situation with another girl. And then one day, Samantha demanded a lot of money from Gina's aunt in the name of buying a house, which the aunt agreed. But in the meantime, Gina somehow realizes that the diamond ring that Samantha gave to her aunt in the name of marriage is actually fake. That's when he realizes that Samantha is actually a professional fraudster. So without further ado, he launched the Revenge Note app and wrote his name. And then his life quickly turned completely chaotic. It happens. Accidents, humiliation, ex-girlfriends coming in front of him, and just before the wedding, the police came and arrested him. Seeing all this, Gina's aunt opened her eyes, and he survived a terrible mistake. But after all this, Gina is very tired from the inside because she has a lot of respect for G. I love, but just like a friend. There was nothing else. But the fact here is that his mind was only focused on Robin. So he finally sits down with G and clears everything and the pen he gives him. Give him back. And he tells the truth, which is very painful when he hears it. But he respects his decision. On the other hand, Robin then falls into a misunderstanding. He sees some pictures of Gina and G and thinks that Gina and G are going to get married. So he starts to hang out with Soji with a broken mind so that Gina feels like a couple and sees this. Then everyone thinks that they are a couple. Robin then clearly tells Soji unable to bear this humiliation. Saji decides to take revenge again. That's when Saji makes his last move. She cried behind Robin's back. He starts running and shows how much he loves her like crazy. Just then, a car suddenly comes and hits him, due to which Robin feels responsible, and took him to the hospital. The doctor said nothing happened to him. Rather, the leg is a little sprained. Hearing this, Suji then made a new move, and forcibly put plaster on her legs so that everyone thinks her leg is broken. So Robin then starts taking care of Saji with a sense of guilt. Saji then takes advantage of this opportunity and wants to be Gina. Gina is very upset when she sees that Robin is feeding her, tying her shoes. But the truth is not hidden for long. Suddenly one day the fire alarm goes off, because of which everyone starts running. Sozio gets up and starts running, without any class. Then everyone understands that she was actually acting the whole time, so she lied in front of the whole school again. As it turns out, then there are some cute moments where Robin takes Gina to play, where Robin is the expert and Gina is absolutely. Robin then stood behind him and held his hand and began to teach him how to throw the ball. It was at this moment that Gina completely melted. His focus is no longer on the game. It's just Robin's smile. Then, at the end of the date, Robin gave her the necklace, which he had once lost. He's been looking for it for weeks. It was at this moment that the two of their chests began to pound together. Then, when I returned to the apartment, a big emotional storm began. Robin and Jay's mother returns from abroad. He wants his two sons to move to America with him. And here, we learn that Robin G is basically two brothers. Hearing that, he thinks it's a good opportunity. But Robin was completely silent. He doesn't want to go, because he's found his love and his own people here. At one point in the argument, Robin gets very angry and says that he is not their own son. Then why do they have to listen so much? Hearing these words from a distance, Gina became a hobbyist. Robin then tells Gina the truth that she was adopted as a child. His real parents died shortly after he was born. Whose? That's why the family adopted him. For these reasons, he always felt different. It is this loneliness that makes him rebellious. Hearing this, Gina came forward and hugged her and said that she would not have to be alone anymore. Then one day, Robin's mother suddenly meets Gina. He realizes that Gina is very close to Robin, for which he thanked her, and talked to him about Robin. Robin hears this from a distance and realizes that his mother really loves him, so he goes and apologizes to his mother and creates a beautiful healing moment. Either Robin doesn't delay anymore. He finds Gina all over the school and looks her in the eye and says he loves her. Then Gina wants to hear him again. Then Robin screams in front of everyone that he loves her more than his life. This time Gina also confesses her love, and the two of them stand holding each other's hands. But they have very little time because Robin will leave for America in just 3 days. So she says these 3 days will be the most beautiful time of our lives, when Jean makes a list and then goes on a date and sings together. In this way, they have the most beautiful moments together and, in the meantime, they find a great strength. In fact, their principal was corrupt, and a teacher was unjustly dismissed because the principal wanted to make his people sit there. Then Gina, Robin, and G entered the office at night and found the hidden camera installed by them, and after watching the recording, they uploaded the video on the internet. The students became angry, and the police came and arrested the principal from there. Jean's mother, on the other hand, sees her ex-husband again. He bought them and brought flowers, knelt down, and said he still loves them, and they decide to get back together. Now comes the day of farewell. Robin throws a small party for RG. Then all the friends gave them a photo album as a gift, where all their memories are kept. This time, Robin really smiled. He wasn't the same rebellious boy as before. He's someone who's found himself now. At the last moment, he grabs Gina's hand and promises her love. And Gina's phone. Fix it. As soon as the phone is turned on, a message comes from the Revenge Note app. But this time, Gina doesn't write a name, because he doesn't need revenge anymore. He now has friends, family, and true love. So he deleted the app. Then at the airport, Gina is very scared. Because if a beautiful girl comes to America and snatches Robin from her, she gives him the pendant and says that if a girl wants to seduce you, then she will show it, which Robin then smiles and promises and leaves from there. Gina goes back to her school life, but everything feels a little empty except for Robin. On the other hand, in America, Robin laughs at Gina's pictures and misses her, When someone calls her on a date, she politely says that she has a girlfriend, and she also shows her the pendant and says in her mind that she misses Gina very much. Meanwhile, Robin's favorite place was no longer a city. There was no house, but only Gina's smile. Always keeps him happy, and if someone asks him what he's thinking about, his answer is the same thing: Gina and here. This story ends. However, how did you feel about today's video in the comments? And everyone be well, stay healthy, take care.